Ruben Amorim made some major changes in the starting lineup of the final. In place of Garnacho, he started Amad Diallo. Mount also started the game. And the one thing which I did not like at all was Bruno was playing alongside Casemiro as a center mid rather than being attack minded. He had his defensive duties in that game as well. So, and we have seen before that whenever Bruno plays alongside Casemiro or Ugarte, it does not go well. I think Bruno deserves to play up front, either in place as a number 10 in the number 10 role, where he has a free role. He could have placed in place of Mount, I think. Starting Mount in place of in place of Garnacho was a big call from Amorim, and in hindsight, it did not go well. Mount was absent throughout the game. In first half, he only made 5 successful passes. The United attack was routed through the right side in the first half, with Ahmad and Mazaroi attacking. On the left side, we had Mount and Patrick Dogu, but there were there were rarely any movement of ball in that area of the field. But whenever Mount got the ball, I think he did well. He did create spaces, and he did make a few good passes, pivotal passes. But but the play was concentrated on the other side. I think that is why he was absent. As for his counterpart on the other side, Amad Diallo, he had an okayish game. He tried a few things, some worked out, some did not work out. He, of course, took that rocket of a shot in the first half. It was just wide, where Maguire, I think Harry Maguire headed him back, and he chipped the ball a little with his left foot and then drove the ball towards the goal with his right. So it looked like it was going to go in, but it wasn't meant to be. So, and overall, Ahmad played the whole 90 minutes. He, apart from that one shot, I don't think he took any other good shot. He took a few shots, but they were not good at all. And his crossing, I think, was very poor. Amad Diallo. He did cross. He did put a good crosses into the box, but most of the time his crossing wasn't good. So I was quite disappointed, and he tried to dribble past players, and some of it did not work out. I remember one incident where Richarlison managed to tackle him. Richarlison, come on. So Ahmad was quite mediocre, but being mediocre, he was probably our best player on the field. As about Rasmus Højlund, he got no service into the box whatsoever. The only chance I remember for Højlund was, I think it was Ahmad who put in a low cross into the box, and Højlund tried to adjust his body to head the ball towards the goal, but the angle was awkward. So that is the only chance for which Højlund got a good chance which Højlund had, and even that was also a tough chance. So Højlund, I think he had a fair game, but he wasn't getting any service at all. United lacked making runs behind the line, even though some of the players were making the runs, but nobody was playing them. Like I saw in the second half, Patrick Dogu was uh, was trying to make runs beyond the defensive line of Tottenham, but nobody saw him. He did that a few times. He even he got frustrated at one point of time, but still. And that was the case with Zirkzee as well on a few occasions. The centre back pairing of Tottenham, Christian Romero and Mickey Van de Ven, I think it is one of the best centre backs pairing. Christian Romero, as we know, he has won the World Cup with Argentina, and he was both of them were very good. Mickey Van de Ven, we remember, uh, he made that goal line clearance, which was quite ballsy, and it could have been a goal. But anyways, so Romero looked like he was having some problems in the game, but he managed to play the whole 90 minutes. So Tottenham scored the only goal of the game through Brennan Johnson. I remember Brennan Johnson because when we first faced Tottenham in this season, I think we lost 4-0 or something. And Mickey Van der Ven had the ball. He took the ball from his own half towards, he charged into our box, and then he crossed to Brennan Johnson and he tapped in into an open goal. So Brennan Johnson always manages to score against us, and it was a very scrappy goal. We consider a stupid free kick. I think it was Bruno Fernandes who made the foul. And the cross was delivered. Shaw was unable to defend, and Onana, could he have done better? I think he could have definitely done better, but the cross should have not come in the first place. I think it was Mazaroi or Ahmad. I don't know which one it was, but the cross should have not come into the first place. It should have been blocked. And as for Bruno Fernandes, he wasn't good. He wasn't good at all. He his passing wasn't quite accurate yesterday, and some of his decisions as well. Bruno had a forgettable game. The whole team had a forgettable game. Andre Onana, I don't think he had to make any other save. He did not. I don't think he made any save whatsoever. The only shot I think I can even think of is that Johnson shot, and he got one. He faced one shot. He managed to concede that goal as well. So we need a better goalkeeper for sure. There was another major change in the starting lineup. Luke Shaw started over Diago Dalot. Diago Dalot, as we know, he had just recovered from injury, but Luke Shaw, he barely got any minutes during the season, and we put him straight into the final. Whereas Diago has had a decent season, I would say. And we can also see when Diago joined in, when he got substituted in, United looked a lot better. There were a lot of crosses into the box, and Diago Dalot is very good at crossing the ball into the box. Maybe he could have been introduced a bit earlier. Ifs and buts. Garnacho and Zirkzee came on as a substitute. Kobe Menu came on as a substitute, and they changed the game. Garnacho and Zirkzee, I think, did very well. As soon as they came, the tempo of the game shifted, and we were dominating possessions. We were creating chances, but not clear-cut chances. I think the best chance of the game, one of the best chances of the game, was when it was through Zirkzee. Bruno played it to Zirkzee. Zirkzee played to the man on his left, to Mazaroi, I think it was. Then Bruno was making a run forward. Mazaroi put a cross into the box, and it was also a low cross, and Bruno managed to get his head, but it was a little bit wide. But it could have been a decent goal. It could have been a goal. It could have been it. Zirkzee was quite good with his hold-up play, but we did not provide him any service, and What's use of a striker who's not getting any service? How can we expect him to score any goals? Garnacho good did on the wing. He put in a few good crosses and he made things happen. In the second half, United dominated possession. Even in the first half, we were the better team. But football is all about scoring goals. And in the second half, Ange Postecoglou employed. I think they parked the bus. Or everybody was defending. So, which was rightly so. But I'm quite happy for Ange Postecoglou and Yunmin Son, of course. Yunmin Son, everybody loves him, and it is his first trophy with of the his first trophy ever, I think. And he's been at Tottenham for 10 years, more or less. So it is very good to see him lift the trophy. And Ange Postecoglou, people were after him. We saw in that pre-match press conference where he said, "I'm not a clown. I'm not a clown." So, and he was a lot more. He was under a lot more pressure than Amarin for in this game, because if he had lost, then he would have definitely been sacked. And he stood by his words of winning a trophy in his second season. So it is like I mean I'm disappointed, but I mean I'm happy for them, even though it is Tottenham, but they deserved it. They deserved it. But on the other hand, Ruben Amorim, he cut a very dejected and lonely figure at the end of the match. He was just pacing around on the field. He had no one alongside him, and everybody was rejected, and it was quite sad. Then Luke Shaw gave a post-match press conference. He mentioned that everybody should look at themselves. Everybody should look at themselves and figure out whether they deserve to be at the club or not. I think he made a very good point about that. And Garnacho also came in the post-match press conference. He questioned Amaril's decision of only letting him play for 20 minutes, 19-20 minutes, because Garnacho, I think he played in every round of Europa League, but he was rested only for. He was on the bench for the final, the biggest game. But in hindsight, we can say anything. Garnacho also missed a sitter in the first half against Athletic Bilbao in the second leg. So it doesn't matter. Now, the narrative before the game was that people were comparing United seasons with Arsenal seasons. If United had won the trophy, people were gonna say that United had a better season than Arsenal, which is ludicrous. Absolutely, it is ridiculous and a stupid question. How can we have a better season than Arsenal? Arsenal are like second or third in the Premier League, and we are down at 16th place in the league. Even winning the Europa League cannot make it right. We've had a terrible season. I think if we had won the Europa League, then it would have sugar coated our season, and everybody would look at Europa League rather than at Premier League, which is a more clear indicator of our performance throughout the season. So it is a blessing in disguise for United that we lost the Europa League final, because now people will be able to focus more on the problems, which is necessary. Because if we had won the Europa League, then I don't think anybody of us would have realized that the mess in which we currently are, because then the whole narrative would have changed, that the United managed to win a trophy still managed to win a trophy in such a terrible season. So, Amarim also mentioned a few days ago that we don't deserve to be in the Champions League, and rightly so. So it is, for a long term perspective, it is a good thing that we did not win, because it would have swayed away the concentration of people from focusing on the problems. Now that we have lost, alarm bells would be ringing at Old Trafford, at Carrington, at the offices of United, and there will be drastic changes. There will be many outgoings and hopefully many incomings in the transfer window. There would definitely be the problem with the funds, of course, because if we had won the Europa League, then we would have surely gotten some financial assistance. We would have been able to make some better signings, and we would be in Champions League. So of course there would be broadcasting revenue and TV rights revenue next year. So it is a big blow on the financials of our club. But I think this long-term perspective outweighs this short-term vision, because we need to understand how deep in the waters we are at the moment, and hopefully we can learn from this. Before the game, everybody was quite confident about United, because everybody mentioned that Tottenham are bottlers, they don't have the experience to be playing a final, and whereas United, on the other hand, are such a big club that we know how to compete in a final, how to win a final. But look how the story has changed. And I think in the last 3-4 years, we have lost three finals: two Europa League and one FA Cup. So our that elite mentality which we are talking about, it is also more or less gone. But now we have the season is over, the quite a season, and only one match remains against Aston Villa this week, and then will start from scratch. Amorim will start from scratch. We'll need to make some major changes. We'll need to get some big players. Matheus Cunha is, I think, he's almost a United player, which is a very good thing. But we need more players, and we need to sell a lot players than we need. So as it turns out, United are now the bottlers. But we'll bounce back. We always do.